passed from adolescence
Right.
to prime. Okay,
Right.
and as you said, it's more important the confidence and the respect in the
Yes.
different departments. So, tell me some tips in order to work this
Transition?
yeah, confidence and respect.
Okay. So the problem is that the words mutual trust and respect is these are just words, right? And they must be enacted in practices. And they are not. It's counterintuitive, but they're not simply. It's not equivalent to no argument. It's not equivalent to no conflict. In other words, the way we enact mutual trust and respect is to elaborate our differences in ways that are respectful. So it's only in the presence of the differences that we can enact mutual trust and respect. So we need the differences, we need the conflicts in order to do that. So it's critically important, and we're going to learn today, and I'm going to expose several of the practices associated to this. But I think that the transition from adolescence, from go-go to adolescence and adolescence to prime, involves the development of institutionalized approaches to addressing these differences, to working through conflicts in the leadership, on the board, between departments, and normalizing. Basically, all of those institutionalized processes should normalize the conflicts, so we can look at them as opportunities for developing connections and developing understanding of each other across the organization. Because it's not that we have to think the same, it's that we have to understand the perspective of the other. We can keep our differences, but we must understand the perspective of the other, and that's why mediation is a foundational framework for promoting this transition to prime.
Okay, and the mediator has to be in the organization, in the lawyer department, or has to be external?
It can be either one. I think sometimes I get called in to, as a third party outside of the organization, I get called into a conflict in the board. I get called into a family business that has a conflict between three brothers from the outside, because they have no institutionalized practices that enable them to address it. So part of my job as an external mediator is to support the development of the institutionalized practices, whether it's in the ombuds role, whether it's a mediation role inside of equity or inside of a lawyer's office or inside of human resources, or whether it's simply training programs that help people, whether I can provide training programs that the organization can use to run its meetings. People have to know how to run meetings. They have to know how to facilitate conversations. So I can provide facilitation skills to the leaders of an organization. That's a way of institutionalizing conflict resolution as well. So the third party can play a role inside or outside, in a variety of different roles to support the institutionalization of conflict resolution.
Okay, and the last one, in which cases we have to say sorry in order to reduce or remove the conflicts?
So I think that legal departments and organizations never want to apologize because they don't want culpability or responsibility. But in the long term, in the long run, in the long perspective, taking responsibility by, and I have a way of thinking about that, and I can share it with the group today, that I think responsibility is about what part I did inadvertently, unintentionally, that promotes, that generated or that led to the problem or the issue. And basically a company has to name its role in the development of a problem or a conflict or an issue. And if they do that, the public actually, it increases the faith and the trust of the public in the company. Whereas if they deny responsibility and they fail to make apology, it scars, as in, puts a mark that is permanent on the reputation of the company. So I think that then there become, for instance, in companies that don't apologize or don't acknowledge their responsibility, the whole issue becomes a location that the company cannot discuss. Then there's a gap between the company and the public, which is a huge problem if you're trying to develop a market and stay connected to your stakeholders. You ruin the relationship with stakeholders, and that cannot be. So that's why I think there are forms of apology that are suitable to lawyers. There are ways of apologizing without damaging the company, increasing its liability. But I think those must be employed, those kinds of apologies and taking responsibility should be done. In the long term, that's what will build the company's strength, its resiliency. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
I don't think the first two questions were recorded.
Why?